Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Shall I to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Monday Night Raw, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, back at it with Monday Night Raw, the final episode before Money in the Bank. Did not do a SmackDown episode last week, and I'll just be completely transparent with you. I just really wasn't feeling SmackDown last week. It was a very all-right show. Don't get me wrong. I think that we did do some interesting stuff on SmackDown. I like the main event angle quite a bit. I just didn't feel the need to do a video on it. But Raw, I feel like we did a lot of good stuff. We filled up the final two spots within Money in the Bank. Stephanie Vaquer is moving on and makes that women's Money in the Bank ladder match the most stacked it's ever been. By far the most stacked women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And hell, I even go as far as say it's one of the just stacked Money in the Bank ladder matches ever. I really like the idea of, hey, we got three rookies who haven't even spent 3 months on the main roster, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, and Roxanne Perez, and they're taking on three vets who have all been there before, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, and Rhea Ripley. I just really like those dynamics, and I'm hoping within that match that, we kind of pair them up. Get Julia, Naomi's, Stephanie Vaquer, and Rhea Ripley. We teased that on this episode. And then Roxanne and Alexa can round it up. And, just continue to do that where you have, all right, present versus future, and then do some future versus future, present versus present, because none of them are the past by any means. As for who I think is going to win that Money in the Bank ladder match, I am rooting for Naomi. I do think when we get to Evolution, they are going to try to make that Bianca Belair versus Naomi versus Jade Cargill match the main event, because it should be. It's the best women's story going on in all of WWE, and I would probably go as far as to say as women overall. Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné could get there, but out of all the women's wrestling that I've seen, that is one of the best storylines that's going on, period. I don't care what promotion it is, and I think it deserves to be that main event. And, Naomi cashing in to get that WWE Women's title, or hell, even World title, who knows, because, supposedly we're getting a draft before SummerSlam. That would be fine to me. But if Naomi isn't to win, then yes, I do hope it's Roxanne. I will say, during that triple threat, even though I am happy Stephanie is qualifying and moving on, I was kind of pulling for an Ivy Nile a little bit, just because I think we need that unpredictability within the shows. Right now, one, WWE's just running way too many special events. Like I said, we have Money in the Bank this week, and then literally 3 weeks after we have Night of Champions, and then after that we have maybe 2 weeks until another Saturday night's main event and the Evolution show, and then after that we have about 3 weeks left until the first 2 night SummerSlam, and then I think after that we get a little bit of a break unless we throw in another Saturday night's main event. There's just a lot of shows in between, and I just don't think there is a lot of time to really invest within the storylines, which is okay. If you're going to go a little bit more combat driven within your product, that's okay. When you're just like, look, the matchup will draw itself, and it is working. You're still selling out houses. You don't even have to announce what you're doing on the show, and it still sells out. Your name is big enough, which is great. So if you're just going to rely on matchups, then you need to make some surprising matchups. I know that we did that with El Grande Americano moving on because he beat AJ Styles and CM Punk, but I don't think it's as big as a surprise as WWE is making it out to be, or even as the internet is making it out to be, because one, El Grande Americano is undefeated in WWE. You can have your thoughts on what you think about the character, but when it comes to wins and losses, he doesn't lose. AJ Styles does. I know we think of AJ Styles as a John Cena, as a CM Punk. He is one of the best. He absolutely deserves to be within that conversation. Unfortunately, WWE just doesn't see him as that right now. So therefore, I was like, well, AJ could be the fall guy. And also, they teased it the whole damn night with CM Punk doing his opening promo. Good opening promo. Sami Zayn coming out, you have to win, which solidifies he's not going to win. And then, we have the Paul Heyman AJ Styles segment. It was like, okay, well, that takes them two out. El Grande was never to be seen throughout the whole show. So yeah, he was clearly going to win. I just think we had the opportunity to do it too. I mean, everyone was like, well, Ivy's just there to get pinned, which is, again, a crutch when it comes to these triple threats. Because, again, we kind of know what it's going to do, and we just kind of in a comfort zone. If, you do pull, Roxanne does come out and cost Liv Morgan the match, not inadvertently, like she could just appear to be like, hey, I'm here to help you. And then Morgan goes, I told you to stay away. Surprise roll up 1, 2, 3. Yes, we've seen that finish a lot, but there was a lot of distraction finishes throughout this whole entire show, so I don't necessarily mind it. And I think it could have added to the Judgment Day story too, because Roxanne helping Finn and JD McDonough got them the win. If Liv keeps refusing Roxanne's help, it's going to keep causing her to lose, because she wasn't out there for the triple threat, and then she wasn't out there for Raquel, and they lost. So I think that's something to keep an eye out for. But yes, I don't think necessarily Roxanne. I think Roxanne should have been out there, and yeah, maybe we should have done a little bit of a swerve, because you had this great presentation for Stephanie. Everyone's already behind her. If she's going to be in the ladder match, is she going to win? Again, I don't think so. I think the top 2 picks are Roxanne Perez and Naomi. So why not take a chance? Let's give it to an Ivy Nile in there. And she does great work. I mean, every time she's given time, she does great. It's not like she's a bad wrestler. I don't think people would have overall been too upset by it. So yeah, I think we missed an opportunity there, just because, again, if we're going to go more combat driven, which I do still believe WWE is hell-bent on their stories, but it's clear they only care about building SummerSlam, the Rumble, and WrestleMania. Survivor Series to a degree, but clearly that's the big 3 that they build to. We know the big IC program is Dominic versus Finn Balor. We are teasing it. We continue to tease it, but we're not in a SummerSlam season yet, so we can't pull the trigger yet. So right now, we're going to tease AJ versus Dominic. That'll be a fun match. But until we get to that, until we get to Finn versus Dom, we just know it's on hold. Io Sky, we know her destination is Rhea Ripley, whether that be Evolution or SummerSlam. We just know she's on hold until we get there. I am not surprised if we find out later on that at Money in the Bank, the women's tag titles will be on the line and our women's world champion will be in it with Kairi Sane, with the story that they were telling. Again, you just know what the big matches are, which is not at the big show yet. Evolution could count as a big show because, it's an all-women exclusive. You want to sell out that house. You want to prove that your women can sell the building with just themselves. So yeah, maybe that's the destination where you pulled the trigger on it. But again, like Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, we know that's the feud for the U.S. title, but we're not in that season yet, so we can't pull the trigger. So we're going to have these side quests. And so on and so forth. And that's the only reason we're having a tag match at Money in the Bank with Logan Paul and John Cena versus Cody and Jay, is because, again, we're just not on that road yet. So yeah, I think, again, if the stories are taking a backseat because they are so, long-term nowadays, which is great, then you need to make your shows a little bit more unpredictable. And I think an Ivy Nile win could have been better suited for that. As for other things on the show that caught my eye, I like New Day on commentary, but once they left, I didn't really care for the match anymore because, one, it was JD McDonough and Balor, and I knew at some point someone was going to come running in. And it was Roxanne. Again, it serves the story well. I've just seen it too many times. Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, besides Sami Zayn just getting lit on the ring, facing the Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. It was fun, but again, I knew at some point there was going to be some effery, and there was a stomp. What else was on this show? We already talked about Raquel and Kairi Sane. Glad Kairi Sane's getting some wins. Again, I'm worried that we're building the women's tag titles, but what about our world champion? And even if it's Liv versus Io for the world title, then what about the tag titles? I just hate how we're mixing the titles together. But overall, again, I think it was a fun show. I think it did good to get me hyped for Money in the Bank. I'm excited for both briefcases. I am pretty sure Seth Rollins is winning the men's. Because I do think on that Raw after, I think Goldberg's going to cause Gunther, and Jay's going to barely survive, but he's going to be in pain from working the Money in the Bank show, from getting beat up on Monday, and then, getting beat up by Gunther. And then here comes Seth Rollins to cash in to pick up the bones, and then Gunther can go off to Goldberg, and then we have Jay and Seth moving on over. And I do think after Money in the Bank, Cena is basically going to be back to a good guy. I do see him and Logan Paul falling out during that tag team title match, and then there's going to be a big conflict and when we move into Cody versus Cena at either Night of Champions or SummerSlam. Maybe we do round 2 at Night of Champions, and then we have the rubber match because there'll be 1-1 at SummerSlam. So we'll see that. But again, overall, it was a good show. It was fine. But like I said, I just don't have a huge need to like want to invest within. Well, I just can't fully invest within both shows. I'm thinking about moving the reviews and like merging the shows together, like watching Friday and then watching Monday, and then on Tuesday's review is reviewing both, and just call it Lemon Reviews WWE Week, and then put the 2 dates of the show on it. Because again, there was a lot of good stuff. Lyra versus Becky was fun as well. I like their back and forth, but I do feel like it's a little redundant at this point. Excited for the match. I'm pretty sure Becky's going to win, but as long as Lyra gets back to win the feud, then I am fine with it. And I think that's a testament. That's the only story that has some beef to it, that has that doubt, that has that worry, but you can't really call who's going to win all the way through. We want Lyra to win, but with how the story is going, yeah, maybe you do put the title on Becky. So that story has some mustard to it, but one out of all of them, it's a little worrisome, because again, we're just not on the road to SummerSlam yet. I'm pretty sure once we get to SummerSlam, it's going to be cooking much better, but we're just not there yet. But again, it was fine, and same for SmackDown too. It was fine. It's just overall like, how much more can I say? Yeah, the matches are good, but, there is a run and finish. I mean, if I give you that synopsis, you have like 20 different matches to go about going through it. Yeah, I'm liking his title reign, but clearly this person is waiting to face this person. You could say that about 5 of the champions that are on the show. The only one who doesn't have a clear challenger that they are waiting to build is Tiffany Stratton, which is why, again, I think Naomi's winning it and cashing it in on her, because obviously we want the title program to be Bianca, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. Yeah, it's just in that little bit of a rut. I don't know if I'm a little bit burnt out. I don't know if I need a little bit of a break from watching WWE. I just think that maybe we are running into a problem with maybe being overstimulated by shows. But again, that's not clearly my fault or their fault. I mean, I keep tuning in. People keep buying the tickets. They keep selling out. They keep building these great houses, even though the ticket prices are pretty expensive at this point. At some point, we have to look into the mirror. So yeah, I don't know if I need a break. So maybe I will take a break and just stick to PLEs. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll merge the Raw and SmackDown reviews into one. Maybe that will help me get by instead of doing each show. Because again, I just feel like I'm being redundant with every review, because again, besides one being the aesthetic of red and the other being the aesthetic of blue, they're run the exact same way. It's just that one is 30 minutes more than the other show as well. But let me know what y'all think of Raw. Do y'all think I'm being a little too pessimistic? Am I being too critical? Or am I just being, a complaining Nancy? Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Bring me to the light side, man, because I am still enjoying WWE. Again, like the tag match doesn't upset me as much as other people. Who qualified to the Money in the Bank ladder match doesn't upset me as much as other people. It's just I don't have that just genuine excitement anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not mad at the booking whatsoever. In fact, I'm still intrigued to watch the shows. It's still part of my schedule. I don't feel like I have to watch this. Well, maybe sometimes with SmackDown. But Cody's back, so I'm back to being excited for it. But for Raw, still more than happy to tune in. It's just clear that, okay, well, we're not a SummerSlam season yet, so why even bother? Oh, yep, here's a match. This looks like a fun matchup. There's gonna be a run-in, isn't there? Yep, there it is. So yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at with it. But let me know your comments down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button, as I am trying to grow into a YouTube career. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.